Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at the RAM Mount's dual locking suction cup mount. This is the RAM-B-189B. This is an excellent mount to use if you need to have something mounted somewhere where it can't be permanent, so you still need a suction cup, but you do need something that's a little bit more heavy duty and has some more holding power to it. When you purchase this mount, included are two locking suction cup bases, this curved plate, and some hardware. Have some screws and some nuts and bolts. Putting some of this to the side for a moment, I want to show you this plate a little bit more closely. And it's made out of steel. It has 8 holes in it already. The 2 holes on the sides, 2 there and 2 there, match up with the hole pattern in the top of the suction cup base. So later on, that plate will just be bolted right onto the top. There are 4 holes remaining here in the middle. That is an industry standard hole pattern known as an amps hole pattern, which has a lot of uses to it. You might be mounting a device that has that hole pattern on it already, or what most of you will probably be doing is attaching a plate like this, a RAM-B-202, a 1-inch ball on a round plate. You can bolt that on and it will put a 1-inch ball on the top of this plate. You can build up from there. Just a quick side note that this part is not included with the RAM-B-189B. It is purchased separately or as part of a bundle. But there are some pre-drilled holes in the bottom. Will line up with the amps hole pattern. You can just bolt that right on. Another option for you is this, a RAM-B-347, also purchased separately, also with an amps hole pattern, so you can attach that one as well. And the first 2 parts I showed you both used the B-size 1-inch ball. Here's one that uses the 1.5-inch C-size ball. This is RAM-202, same hole pattern as the first plate I showed you, so even if you are using the C-size ball, you still can use it with this mount. For today's purposes, though, we're going to use the RAM-B-202, the 1-inch ball. A quick explanation here for some of you. It can be a little bit difficult to pick the amps hole pattern out of the 7 pre-drilled holes, so I'll give you a quick tip. Try and hold the plate like this, where you have 3 holes along the top, 2 sets of 2 on the bottom. And the way you can pick out amps, the 2 holes on the bottom, you're going to look at the bottom hole on one side, the bottom hole on the other side, and then the outer 2 holes on the top. So the bottommost hole on the sets of 2, and that lines up with the outermost 2 on top. There's your rectangle right there. That is your amps hole pattern. So now you can take the plate. You'll also need the nuts and bolts from the hardware pack. And you can line that up, drop one of the bolts in there. You can start the nut on the other side. Just get that on there with your fingers. And from here you will need a pair of pliers or a wrench, really whatever you have handy, but something that will hold the nut in place. So just get that on there, hold that in place, and from the other side you can use the screwdriver and tighten up that bolt. So that's the first one done. That's what that looks like. There it is right there from the other side. And now all you're going to do is just repeat that process with the 3 remaining nuts and bolts on the 3 remaining holes. So I've now attached the round plate on top to the curved plate below. And my next step is going to be to take the 2 locking suction cup bases and bolt the plate onto the top of those. So for that, I will need the 4 screws that came in the hardware pack, and this is very simple. There are 2 holes on the suction cup base. I'm just going to line those up with the 2 holes on the plate. I will get that started in there. And then you're just going to take your screwdriver and tighten that up all the way down. Here is the other side. Take the other suction cup base, line up the holes on it with the holes on the plate, and just repeat that process. Now, Obviously, when you are assembling this yourself, you are going to want to use all 4 screws and attach all 4 points of the plate. For right now, though, we'll just give you the quick version. Here's more or less what it looks like when it is all completed. You have your 2 locking suction cups on the bottom. This steel curved plate holds everything together, and the round plate on top puts a ball on the top of the suction cup mount. To mount it goes on any flat, non-porous surface. Just put it down, lock one side, and then the other. And from there, you can mount whatever it is you are going to put on the 1-inch ball. So here is a RAM arm I have. This is the long B socket arm. And in the other side, I'm going to put this camera plate. This is a plate with a 1/4-20 thread on it, and I can use that to mount a camera with any similar thread. But there you go. That's what it looks like when it is all completed. I can have my device mounted on there, safe and secure, and I have the extra holding power of another suction cup here. To release the mount, just the same thing backwards. We'll release one side and then the other, and you can see that everything is shaking here a little bit. That's just the holding power of this mount. It is a very strong one. So there you go. That is a quick look at the RAM Mounts dual locking suction cup mount. This is the RAM-B-189B.